that you feel so comfortable doing, it's like breathing. Something that you dream about when you're out for walks in the woods. Something that stirs your soul, inspires you, lifts you up. Passions are essential to this life. And one thing that's wonderful about passions is they have a tendency to point out our purpose. They're not just happenstance. So I had mentioned before in previous talks and other speakers this month, because we've been spending this whole month talking about purpose and passion. We've been looking at what is a purpose. And it goes well to mention that purpose does not have to be a grandiose thing. It does not have to be to scale a mountain, walk across Canada, write a book, paint the best picture, get to the top of your business, to have a certain amount of money in the bank. Those things are lovely, but that doesn't have to be your purpose. Your purpose could be to teach, to share knowledge, to lift others up by educating them. It could be to share your music, so to make people feel good, to touch the heartstrings and emotions. It could be a multitude of things. It could be to be the one that brings a certain emotion to every event, such as joy. Maybe your purpose is when you walk in the door, everybody's spirits lift because they know what you're bringing. You're going to be the joy in that moment, and you're going to make them feel joyful. Isn't that great purpose? I think that's a fantastic purpose if you have to have one. So today what I want to talk about are 3 things to sort of round up this whole month about your purpose and passion. You are here for a purpose. That's the first thing that I'm going to focus on. The second is you're here for a good time, not a long time. So what's the rest of that? So have a good time. The sun can shine every day. I know this group knows this. So, and number 3, seize the day. So what is that in Latin? Carpe diem. Carpe diem, exactly. So these are the 3 things that I want to touch upon today. Just to kind of round things up. And, which is kind of funny, because when I was thinking of the first one, you're here for a purpose. I often think about so many times in class that I talk to people, and, excuse me, I think this is muted for a second. I've got a notice up on Zoom, and I'm the only one that can see it. Oh, that's interesting. New things are popping up every day, but you notice I'm like a squirrel. Woo! I'm like something else. So, back to my thought process here today. I find a lot of time in class that I speak about purpose. I speak about focusing on your purpose. What are you here for? And so many people say they don't know. They don't have a clue what their purpose is. We do meditations, we do visioning, and they still say, I don't know. And I think a lot of that time, it's fear. They don't want to say it out loud. They don't want to say, I want to be this, or I can see myself doing that. And it's not because they're not good enough. And it's not because they don't have the talent. They fear a multitude of things. Judgment, perhaps by other classmates or myself. Fear of not making that goal. What if I say it out loud and they don't do it? Multitude of things can come about. So it's interesting, because one of my favorite quotes, bear with me, is from the Grinch Christmas movie. Jim Carrey, he's invited to the Whoville Christmas want him to be his mascot. So he gets an invitation, and he goes, well, I can't possibly go. I am way too busy. And he flips open his calendar and he goes, yes, 3 o'clock, stare into the abyss. 4 o'clock, what's 4 o'clock one? Wallow in self-pity. 4:30, solve world hunger. Tell no one. So there we go. We laugh at that because it's such a big thing. The idea that somebody would come up with an idea to solve world hunger and not share it seems absurd to us. Only a Grinch would do that. Aren't we all Grinches? Aren't we all keeping from this world something that it desperately needs because we judge it, not that the Grinch was, but we judge it as not good enough. Not up to the standard. Not up to what we want it to be. So we don't even attempt it. We don't share it, we don't try, we just sit inside. That's not what we're here for. There isn't a person in this room that knows this teaching, that practices this power, that doesn't know that's not what we're here for. It's not by chance you get these gifts. It's not by chance that a piece of music stirs your soul. It's not by chance you see art or fashion or whatever it is that inspires you to want to go out and create your own. Those things aren't by happenstance. It is the universe going, get moving. I need this. That's why you're here. This is the expression that I've been waiting for. If you don't do it, will never happen. Not like you can do it. Not like you can do it. So, what is it? What is that passion you've been hiding? What is that purpose that this world has been waiting for? Infuse it with light. Bring it out of the closet. Bring it out. Show it to the world. Don't judge it. When people ask you, tell them. When I ask you in class, what is your purpose? Tell me. When we don't live with an idea of where we're going, we will never get there. We have to have a destination. We have to have something that fulfills us. So, number 2. We're here for a good time, not a long time. There was a wonderful poem I found by Donna Markova, and I'm not a big reader and I'm not a good memorizer, but we're going to do the reading. And this was a poem she wrote, and it's from her book, Don't Die with Your Life Still in You. And the poem goes, I will not die an unlived life. I will not live in fear of falling or catching fire. I choose to inhabit my days, to allow my living to open me, to make me less afraid, more accessible, to loosen my heart until it becomes a wing, a torch, a promise. I choose to risk my significance, to live so that which came to me as a seed goes next to the next as a blossom, and that which came to me as a blossom goes on as a fruit. I love this. So what seeds have you gotten from the universe? Have you produced flowers? And if you were given a flower, if you knew instinctively as a child or a young adult or last week what you are, what your purpose is, what are you doing with that flower? Are you producing a fruit? What I loved about this poem was the idea that if you don't do it now, it's never going to be. It's never going to be. If Audrey doesn't produce the quilt that's in her mind, a quilt will never be seen, will never be experienced. Some other quilter would walk in, see it, and be inspired to do something else. We have no idea with what we have planned, what ideas we have, what they might do for our lives. Also, oh my goodness, what they might do for somebody else's life. Our children's, our grandchildren, 7 generations down. That's what I love about the Indigenous community's idea of 7 generations. Every choice made is not how it's going to affect me, but 7 generations down. Talk about fruit. Talk about passing things on. I love this quote by Ernest Jones. There is nothing from which to make things except ideas. In the beginning, we behold nothing visible. There is only one, an infinite possibility, a limitless imagination, a consciousness. There's nothing, I've said this before, there's nothing in this room that did not start as a thought, including the internet. And hello to everybody on the internet. Nothing. Not a tablecloth, not a chair. Somebody didn't think of the floor. Somebody thought of this building. Somebody thought of Winnipeg. Everything begins with a thought. What's your thought? You've got lots of time. Don't plan to start tomorrow. Start today. Today is the day you want to do it. So, carpe diem. Seize the day. This is the moment. We so many times have great ideas and think we need lists. How many of you are list makers? Oh, okay. There's a few. I used to do lists and then write things on them just to stroke them out. I knew I had a problem then, so I gave up lists. But I'm also a procrastinator. So I knew the lists were another form of procrastination for me, because I'd write them all out. I'd put them on the fridge, and then I'd go, that's a lot of stuff. I think I'll start tomorrow. So how many times do we find our purpose, we find our passion, we go to class, or we come here, we do the meditation, like the beautiful one Tria did this morning, and something clicks into our mind. So we should do this, I should do this. This is something that excites me. This is something that I feel I need to bring into form. And then we come out of the meditation, we come out of the visioning, and we leave it there. We might revisit it in our mind a couple of times, but it never takes form. Why? Why do we continually push these things away? My guess is, again, my favorite, fear. Fear of failure, fear it won't work out, fear it looks silly, fear no one will want it. Somebody wanted the chia pet. Can you imagine someone sitting around thinking, let's smear sprouts on a hedgehog, clay hedgehog, and sell it. Pet rock, for Lord's sake. Oh, I'm sure a lot of you remember the pet rocks. And not only the pet rock, the training program that went with the pet rock that was a bestseller. So why do we judge our choices? Someone saw this pet rock idea, thought it was funny, let's run with it. They're a millionaire. So what pet rock idea do you have? How can we help you develop it? How can we at the center help tickle this purpose, sprinkle it with passion, and help you realize what you're here for? Let us in. Everyone here has got something that they want to do, want to create, want to share with this world, and the universe is going, yes, yes, let's go, let's go, let's go. We put it out here, let's go. Are you ready to let go? Are you ready to go and do this? Are you ready to seize the day?
Yes.
Are you ready to seize the day?
Yes.
That is what it takes. That's passion. Get in there, do pose. Know that you're capable of this. Know that it is just waiting. The world is just waiting. You have no idea how if what you've got will express. It's huge because it comes from source. And anything that comes from source is meant to be, including you. Nothing's here by accident. And everything beautifully fits together as a puzzle, even if we can't see it. Everything is spirit. So when we don't create, when we don't play, when we don't have this fun, when we don't seize the day, we're stopping that. We're stopping spirit expressing in this world through us. I'm not going to do that. I have no desire to do that. So lots of times when I'm feeling nervous about something, I don't want to try something, I remind myself, nope, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to be uncomfortable and practice moving into a new way of being. Because I want change in my life. I don't want to live the same life day after day. So to do so, I have to know where I'm going, and I have to be passionate about getting there. One thing I am passionate about is this teaching, and how I know it changes lives, and how I've seen over and over again, even those that don't think it's working, when you sit down and you go through what their experiences have been, all of a sudden the light goes up and they're going, oh, yeah, I am creating that, and I'm creating this, and I'm creating that. And I said, yeah, can you imagine what you could create if you actually knew where you wanted to go? What you wanted to do, what you wanted to have, what you wanted to experience. That's what I want for everyone, is to know their power, know what they can do, know the world is waiting for whatever it is they have inside of them that they are ready to share, and that they seize the day. And so it is.